we here to do our job. We want to do it to the best of our ability. As I said, we want to build on what Coach Dwight did with the team for the past few months. And I think, we are good players. We have good quality players. We have players that we still looking at who showing interest with parents who born in Trinidad with the grandparent rule. And we'll be working behind the scenes to get the best possible team to represent Trinidad and Tobago.
And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is Vimala Balkaran, the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Good morning, Vimala.
Good morning, Carrie. How are you today?
I am doing quite well so far. We are almost at the weekend. It's Friday Eve.
It is. I lost track of the week. For some reason, I just don't know what day it is anymore.
I mean, when you have so much going on, I guess it's only natural sometimes.
That's true. What did you do yesterday?
Yesterday evening, I went to the gym, because you know me. I need to stay fit for these right hairs.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
This is about creating opportunity through responsible management and citizen participation in national wealth. We are targeting US $3 billion in new investment within the next few years in energy, in construction, in tourism, and the digital economy.
Music.
It's reconstruction time in Trinidad, so put your shoulder to the wheel, man, lad, move on, don't stop till you reach the top. You put a hand and I put a hand and we will sing. For big and for small in no time at all, prosperity. There's no other way to do it. Show your patriotic spirit, unity, somehow. If Trinidad ever needed you, is now.
Culture.
The budget has goodies and some not so goodies, but that is because fairness requires that everyone plays their part.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked! This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
All you ever notice how water is part of everything we do? From singing in the shower, to washing the car, to cooling off after a long day. Here's a friendly reminder from WASA. Before you move, before you relax, before you enjoy the day, pay your WASA bill. It's easy to do. Pay online anytime at wasa.gov.tt. Visit a WASA customer service center. Use the self-service kiosk or pay at authorized partners like Western Union and commercial banks. Water is life, and we're evolving to serve you. Join the evolution. Pay your bill. This message is brought to you by the Water and Sewage Authority.
History, wake up the rhythm. Issues in the spotlight. Talk City 91.1. Wake up to the issues that matter most on the Ground Report. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith every morning from 6 to 9 a.m. for real talk, real analysis, and real perspectives on the stories shaping our nation. News, current affairs, and voices from the ground, unfiltered and unapologetic. That's the Ground Report. Weekday mornings on Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the Ground Report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
The ground report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The ground report. The ground report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
To dispel these evil lies by Bus Mako today. Festival T&T is still importing bus parts from China. The shield of America has nothing to do with T&T buying bus parts in China. And second is T&T has ordered 300 new, mostly electric buses, which will start arriving from mid-year. So stop with your lies, bus mouth. It's the PNM that should be blamed for all these broken down, cheap Chinese buses. The UNC inherited these problems and are dealing with them as best as they can. But some of you all are so impatient. You're seeing people who are very quiet. For the last 10 years when the PNM were in office, now finding their voices back, the UNC must be working miracles to have them talking then. Anyway, Andy, have yourself a great day, my friend. And let's all try and be safe out there today, people.
Into the darkness you shine. Out of the ashes we rise. There's no one like you.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Our God. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer. Awesome in power. Our God. Our God. And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? Stand against.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Time check. It's 15 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock, and you're listening to the Ground Report. You're truly the pitbull of radio in studio. Director Snipes, a pleasant good morning to you.
Pleasant good morning, Andy. Pleasant good morning, Trinidad, Tobago, and of course the wider world.
Lennox Smith, a pleasant good morning to you. You may have that the headliners and them there now. Was looking for them.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You know, as typical Boy Scouts, and I don't want to leave out the females, so I have to say Girl Guides. In the context of being always ready, well, we are always ready and prepared, of course, to do duty. That being as it may, pleasant good morning to all and sundry, East, West, North, South, Central in Trinidad, our friends in Tobago, and wherever you are, streaming on the World Wide Web, listening to us, seeing us, of course, here on Talk City 91.1 FM, yes indeed, and of course on the various platforms that Andy will, of course, from time to time reiterate so that you get in contact with and or view and listen to the #1 program on mornings in Trinidad, emanating from Trinidad, but of course across the region and the globe. That being as it may, yes, several issues that are confronting the population today, and of course among them is the fact that the Central Block, that hospital facility, new that was partially opened, if one were to say, and I'm being generous here because we were told that it was, of course, some kind of technical opening, when in fact it was really a construction site and continues so to do, because it was carded to be opened at the end of this month, but it has been pushed back to June because of a number of technical and other construction issues and certification issues. I didn't realize it was so complex to open a hospital. A lot of verification, something called SSE 6030 certification, and then of course you have other agencies that have to take a look at it, both locally and abroad. HVAC components. I want to confess I don't know what that means. I suppose people in the medical world will know that, and those who are engaged in administration. So yeah, those are some of the things that would have contributed, according to UDICOT and the Minister of Works, along with that of the Ministry of Health, as they came together in order to brief the population as to what the status is. I know that the opposition also had a press conference. I think it would have been either yesterday or the day before, sort of giving a general should I say, assessment of what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago across the board. And the usual suspects, you have, of course, Amy Brown being somewhat projecting himself as some expert in diplomacy. And then, of course, you have Marvin, the former minister of, at one time public utilities, and then subsequently, I think his last stint was that of national security. Well, of course, giving us an assessment, should I say, a chronology as to what, according to him, of what transpired in the parliament that led to the walkout, led by the opposition leader, in a debate that was on a private motion, should I say, laid by the representative for Laventille West, on a number of issues relating to governance and how people, according to them, feel. But of course, 4 of them, I believe, made their presentation for on government side until the Minister of Energy, Dr. Munilal, moved that the debate be wound up, and the speaker acceded, and that triggered, of course, this press conference to disagree with it. They were very particular, and calling himself a veteran because he's the longest serving, should I say, parliamentarian in the parliament now, are talking about Colm Imbert, saying, well, listen, we are not saying that we are not castigating the the speaker. We are not saying that he's biased. What we are saying is that we disagree, and of course, making sure that they avoid being hurled before the Privileges Committee of the Parliament for, of course, attempting, whether in or out of the Parliament, to bring the Parliament into disrepute. So that should be noted. In addition to that, you'd have had another opposition member who, of course, spoke on another issue, but most important, I think, is the opposition leader who has been saying repeatedly that the government is not doing well, and that, of course, they want some kind of assessment as to what transpired having regard to the still not yet returned Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago and what she has been doing there, and they want it at the airport. Well, I say to them that it is the UNC Coalition of Interests is in charge of government in Trinidad and Tobago, and they will dictate the pace as to how information is disseminated to the population. The important thing is that information is being disseminated. That is how we were able to get, of course, an update as to the Central Bloc and other issues, including that of a national security nature. Of course, they were critical of the current Minister of Homeland Security, Roger Alexander, in terms of the several issues that he would have been engaging, including, of course, and I think the government must be commended for that expeditious approach to the tardiness and the intrigue involved in people coming in or leaving Trinidad and Tobago and having to fill out, of course, a paper form, to say or to give information with respect to themselves. So it is now electronic. Has gone electronic, of course, consistent with modernization and with what is accepted as acceptable, and of course, taking out the tediousness of having to fill out paper forms when you are entering the country and when you are leaving the country. So I think all in all, those are some of the areas that are making the headlines today. And I await your specific preference, Andy, in terms of what you would like us to elaborate on today. You lead the way, and the rest of us normally would accommodate. Let me put it that way. Andy? Yes, indeed. Well, that is as far as the Trinidad Express is concerned. We have, of course, a few items in the Guardian itself, which also tinkers there, but at the same time focus on international issues. Why U.S. troops are still here, for example. Tobago opposition is asking that question. Right? Opposition parties in Tobago demand answers. Concern island could suffer fallout from Iran war. As far as the ground report is concerned, I think is a figment of the people's very elastic imagination, and they seem to want to generate these square peg and round hole logic that it could have the presence of the radar that is still in Tobago, and I think there's some U.S. Army personnel are still there, and they seem to have not commandeered, but they seem to be occupying a particular hotel facility there. To me, I see that as money for the owners and the administrators and Tobago. But of course, they are seeing it differently, saying that it must have some kind of fallout. Iran is the other side of the globe almost, but yet still they're seeing that as the possibility of a fallout to Trinidad, having regard to the war that is being executed in that part of the world, in the Middle East, of course, by the coalition of Israel and the United States against, of course, Iran. and of course the expansion thereof by Iran, of course, bringing into focus other Arab states which are clearly very, very annoyed with Iran for that level of expansion of a conflict that ought to have been between the United States and Israel and themselves. Of course, we have confirmed that.
You don't discuss why U.S. troops are still here, because the opposition parties are asking Tobago demands, and Tobago demanding why they still here. So you discuss that already?
Why? No, I've not discussed it. I'm just going through it in generic terms. But in terms of specifics, well, they are here because the radar is here and they have a small contingent of individuals to maintain and to spruce it up, etc.
I believe them on sharpness because to reach here is better than Iran reach America, because the interest America have here is nothing compared to the interest America will have on their homeland self. So why try to waste a missile here? So Trinidad and Tobago in the Guardian this morning, the opposition in Tobago is asking why are U.S. troops still here? Opposition parties in Tobago demands answers. Concerned island could suffer fallout from the Iran war. Do you believe that? I don't believe that.
And not only that, the fact that they have acknowledged, well, of course, they have said in the process that they believe that the Americans have finished their mission here because Maduro has been extradited, or depending on your perspective, to the United States to answer drug importation or exportation charges. But the fact of the matter is that here it is, our Prime Minister has now signed on to the Shield of Americas at the home of the President of the United States, and clearly it is about that, the continuation thereof. So therefore, it's common sense to say that is why the radar is still here, because it is about dealing with the narcotic trade. It is dealing with cartels that continues and will continue, and therefore the 12 countries that sign up for that initial, should I say, summit of the Shield of the Americas clearly is all that is all part and parcel of a continuation of that fight. So therefore, to suggest that the fight is done, I mean, them trying to be Donald Trump or the Americans, that administration,
they just have nothing
in Tobago.
They just have nothing to say, so they will organize on that. But they're also saying government is numb on cost of the new online travel regulation platform. Was it public servants itself bring that platform together?
No, but it's
was it contracted?
Bringing Trinidad and Tobago into the modern age.
Right, we know that.
Nobody
did they pay for that? Did the government pay for that, or our public servants is who put that together, that are there, that who is IT, who is this, who is that, or who the other? Because
it appears to me that the government prefers not to at this point in time to say what the cost is, because there must be a cost. Everything you introduce would have a cost. So I suppose they are still assessing the cost of putting that mechanism in place. But to make it an issue, I think is a storm in a teacup, frankly.
All right, so don't just say ease our lives, but again, I mean, a good question to know if it was paid for, if it's public servants who are getting paid to do it, did it. Would have been a good. PNM writes to Speaker on Private Members' Day suspension. So they suspend a Private Members' Day.
Well, yes and no, because there was a debate. Debate came to an abrupt end. They are claiming that they were badly treated and that the Speaker ought not to have conceded to the requests of Munilal after he made his presentation to that particular debate. He then asked that it be moved for the winding up or the conclusion, and the Speaker seemed to have agreed, and then, of course, the opposition walked out on their own debate because they initiated that was Private Members' Day. And then you have, of course, a lot of arguments relating to the significance of private members. It was supposed to be significantly for the opposition, because they must have their say, even though they will not ultimately have their way, because the majority will of course rule and so on. But I beg to differ in the sense that on private members day, a government parliamentarian can also move a motion privately, utilizing that particular day to suggest that it was exclusively to the opposition, or for the opposition, and to somehow give them some kind of opportunity to express themselves no matter what. And at the same time, I want to say that anybody could have stood up and say, listen, this is nonsense. Let's wind up this debate now. Okay. And it is up to the speaker to say whether or not it is valid or not, because he talked about the repetitiveness. He talked about, in English, it is called tautology, where of course you repeat the same thing over and over and over. So it was so tedious that I suppose he conceded to he conceded to Munilal's request or suggestion, but at the same time, it was his to do, and no one else, of course, could argue, because it was in his discretion. They recognized that, but yet at the same time saying that he ought not to have done it.
Oh
well,
God.
It is a discussion, so he did it.
He did it. That's just how it is. Oh boy, so before we go for that news, not news, but before we go for the top of the hour, boy. So so before with the opposition, it was Kamala will bring war. Venezuela going to attack us. Trinidad going to sink. Boom, they go on Maduro. They go on now with the radar. Then from radar, they go on with the blue wave, where they end up the hull get damaged. They'll jump to that.
No. Iran coming here.
Iran coming here. And now is the whole purpose now is the Iran war, and war in Iran and Trinidad and Iran.
Because the blue wave issue started to resolve itself, I think, from last week Monday, when the formal, should I say, voyage took place, and it could have only happened then because everything prior to that was trials, which of course is consistent with international acceptable standards, where of course you have a new vessel, it has to get familiar with the terrain, and of course the berthing and all of that, and that time period had expired last week Monday, and now that the things are now even keel, so to speak, and there's no disruptions or interruptions, they find something else now to say.
Yeah, well, if I was the Honorable Prime Minister, when I do show myself again, I'd have put on camouflage suit, I wore beret, and a Wonder Woman jockey shocks, and they would have talked about that, and just give them that to talk about, so people will now realize and understand how dumb they are. That is all the Honorable Kamala Prasad started doing, and then she go.
Yeah, because I found it very, ridiculous, really, that Brown would say, when you reach in the airport, call a press conference. Well, that was Dr. Rowley's style. When he went out of the country, he came back and he would have a press conference. At times, he would say, well, listen, I was so tired that I didn't have the usual press conference when I come, suggesting that he has to report. But it doesn't mean to say that that is the only way, according to Brown, that the information consequential of some significant development or some significant visit or some significant travel of the Prime Minister could be executed in terms of dissemination of information to the general public. And if she chooses to not have a press conference at the airport, the prerogative is the Prime Minister's. She doesn't have to follow the format of that of the PNM.
And that
was the PNM style.
And that's why I'm saying
the two disrespectful, disingenuous, and frankly dishonest.
And that's why I'm saying it's very simple before we go for that needed new break there. It's simple. Trinidad and Tobago, all you see how grassroots the pitbull is sing? if the government want everybody to see how petty, how small-minded, how childish, how of not relevant, how non-relevant that the opposition in Trinidad and Tobago, PN opposition in Trinidad and Tobago are at this point in time, including the 1% newspapers and CNC3, all Kamla Prasad Bisesa to do, and people will be now like, oh my God. Come out in camouflage clothes. Put on a beret. She must have them little stick in she hand like a general in the United States Army. And just put on a nickels of Wonder Woman. Where they could see. See like how Sturge had on a Superman jaws. Put on Wonder Woman. And watch me. That is topic for them, you know. The whole country, watch me. Headliners. This Kamla Prasad Bisesa is in a Nichols, Wonder Woman Nichols. Whoa! Kamla Prasad Bisesa is dressed up like a general in the U.S. Army. Whoa! Kamla Prasad Bisesa is targeting Irani drones and long-range missiles to hit the port in Trinidad. Watch me. Them going and create a whole, boy, like they smoke bad weed or something. By telling you, I feel them they smoke weed here too, you know. That's why it is that over the borders locked down, you know. PNM MPs and ministers and supporters. I now feel why I know they don't want the borders and them locked down at all. The shade of the Americas to lock down the drug cartels and whatever, all those various things, where the drugs, the gun running and all those various things, human trafficking and all those things go be under pressure. I honestly believe that them, it affecting them. Like them that's run drugs, guns, human trafficking, and most of all, like it going and interfere with the smoke that it is take, and that hard weed or wherever the hell they smoking to them so dumb. You see, the director thing there. So when we come back, more right here on the Ground Report, we'll be back.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most. On air and online. More ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. The conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
Imagine a gender-equal world. A world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where differences are valued and celebrated. This March 8th, in recognition of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly launches Women Who Lead, a powerful feature highlighting dynamic women who are breaking barriers, leading with purpose, and shaping our nation's future. Tune in to Talk City 91.1 FM starting March 8th for Women Who Lead, because when women rise, we all rise.
South Trinidad, we're turning up the love on Thursday, March 19th, the night before the holiday. Sweet 100.1 FM brings you Reggae Love Live. And we're taking over the lobby in South Trinidad for one unforgettable night. Enjoy big reggae anthems, sweet lovers rock, and so much more. Pure reggae vibes all night long. This is your midweek escape, your reason to step out and feel irie.
Before you pull that trigger, hate to see when youths become friend killers.
Bring your crew, bring your energy, bring your best vibes, because we're lighting up the launch with music you know and love. Admission is free, so no excuses. Thursday, March 19th at the lobby. This is Reggae Love Live. One love, one launch, 100.
Voices you know, trust, and respect are the very best in talk. Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
We are back. Time check, it's at 22 the hour to 7 o'clock, and you're listening to the Ground Report right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. I want to ask Lennox, because he's within this field. Appeal court rules uncharged citizens' fingerprints must be destroyed by police. Why that is? Lennox Smith, why that is?
Yeah. If you have won your matter and it is completed, you are not registered, if you want to call that, or recognized offender. Then the law enforcement agencies in the country ought to destroy your fingerprints that they would have taken during the course of the arraignment or prior to you attending court, and the ultimate decision would have been taken.
But you don't think a government should have everybody fingerprints, which will make it easy, whereby thief or anybody touch any little thing, bam, you run a fingerprint and you know, well, who is the individuals was within an area and those various things? And do you not believe that the government technically will have nearly everybody fingerprints anyhow, because we all decided to go for a certificate of character, and obviously we decided to go through a machine, the certificate of character, so and they will have that as data anyhow, so
the stigma attached to it, because it's usually criminal matters, the stigma attached to criminal matters, the completion, the total acceptance that you are not guilty engenders that, and it becomes necessary that you be totally exonerated, and therefore it is in that narrow sense your fingerprints ought to be destroyed. I mean, if it is that you have to go for a job, etc., well then of course they will have to search the records to see whether or not that same stack of record, to see whether or not you would have had some kind of conviction. But to keep it there on file, it is absolutely not acceptable.
Right, but let me say, and anyhow we take it, it will be on record, either or?
No. When you
I think
take for instance, if you go today to a police
to do a certificate of character
to get a certificate, what will happen is that they will take your prints and then they will of course define it and run it through their system. If it is not there, then they say that it is not there on the final document. If it is, then of course that will be there for time immemorial, for safety, for keeping. But if it is not there, then that's the end of it. They don't file they cannot file your prints simply because you had no convictions.
Okay, understand. Because in real, when you do go for the certificate of character, you're going there to show, well, you have a clean character in order to get a job and all those various things.
That's right.
And if they don't destroy that or take it off the file, off the system, then boom, red flag will be raised that yes, you have a conviction. That's right. And that's bad, because when you need now to carry that for the job, it's there and you win your case already. You already win your case. You was innocent, but yet still you have a character in there of guilty of something. Okay, understood, Trinidad and Tobago. Next thing that I'm seeing here, I'm seeing where the telecommunication, or not the telecommunication, but the CW boss woman, just now, I want to get it back there quick. Right, the CWU boss right, threatens to bust more STT files. What files are she bursting? And if those files that she could threaten to be bursting is very bad or severe or is bad for the country, bad for taxpayers, why aren't people not charged yet or so? If it's some kind of bad something with those files. Are you aware of any files and why?
From a tactical perspective, meaning that as a trade union and entering or prior to entering negotiations and as an intimidatory tactic, the trade unions have that as part of their ability to intimidate or to have an advantage in the discussion to get the employer to do what they want. But in this particular case, this statement emerged from a prior one, which was that there was this big shot, high cost over just about $500,000 to hold a retreat in Tobago. And they're saying that in these times, here it is, you're saying you have no money to give the ordinary employees, but here it is that you are frolicking and you are engaging, of course, in what I consider to be grandiose spending when that ought not to be, if you're telling us to belt tighten.
Okay.
To give us what we want. Yeah.
Okay. So it's all about, if they're bad spending money, but telling me, hey, I can't get pay, I can't raise the money.
I can give 5% increase or 10% increase.
But then I see you throwing away
what the unions are starting with. They're starting.
But then I see you throwing away money like Mr. Elias when he just buy Massy Communications so over 200-300 million without cabinet approval and say, well, he has the right to do that. All right.
That's right.
I wonder if you have
that's the argument.
So I wonder if you have any big filing.
So the leader is saying, listen, we have more probably like that, suggesting more like that to busters. So don't feel that that you get away, or that if you get away from this one, you wouldn't get you would not be indicted on the other one. You know, that kind of strategy. Yeah.
Well, I really thought that is some kind of file with management of the thief in a whole set of money back and all thing. You know, that substance.
Well, it could be all of that. It could be all of, because you remember it is an open-ended threat. We have more files. So you let your imagination simply proliferate, simply blossom, and you could take it in any which way, because she did not say exactly what these files are.
Aye. Trinidad and Tobago, the lines are open to you. Time check. Ah, boy, it's 10-2. So here we're going to do. We're going to take that next break. And when we come back, we will organize and the lines are open to you. Send your voice notes. What's your contribution on the number one program, The Ground Report, this morning? What's supposed to make news that you find supposed to make news that not making news? Bring it right here. It will make news on the biggest program, talk program in Trinidad and Tobago, The Ground Report. Sniper out.
Just let me add quickly that whatever you have to say, you can say it even though you disagree with us, because we want to get business, and your business is important. So we don't want you to believe that this is a government program, as the case may be, but all and sundry can, of course, participate, and you may want to disagree with us, but that must not affect the advertising dollar that you would bring.
I like that. You know why I like that? Snipesy and Lennox Smith. That cement what it is. I've always been telling them that it's a democracy, and everybody, every Trimbagonian, as long as they're breaking the rules of that, whether we like what they're saying or not, we have to hear them. So all the people who will be saying, and I will just whistle to one name, don't let them call the program, don't let them this, and I listening to that, and advertisers and business people thinking, no problem, you know. All I will like my darling, that my darling all it is right about Granny, and all it don't get between me and Granny at all. Granny, well, when the month come up with a $10,000 sponsorship towards the Ground Report program, because it had to get money, Simple.
That's
and watch.
Right.
And so long as you the sponsor, you could tell we, don't take that call. What? You paying the money? who pay the piper call the tune, Granny. So you want somebody
It's
not
a
call,
brother.
or you don't want to hear somebody? Come up with 10, 15,000 a month. Right? All right. Snipey, take me out.
But Johnny, how come your house is twice the size of mine, but my bill is twice the cost of yours? Johnny, what going on, boy? How your bill so low? How your bill so low? I'm conserving energy. I switch your LED. At the stun of the AC. And I'm saving real money. It's our responsibility. For a brighter TNT. Cut the waste and you would see. Why everybody asking me? They asking how you been so low? How you been so low? TN Tech, powering the nation into the next generation.
Is your business experiencing the following symptoms? Not enough customers, low sales, slow cash flow. It's time for your business to be seen and heard by thousands of potential customers inside this new, exciting television and social media feature.
Welcome.
The 1020 with Junior K. Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just for you. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
She leads, she inspires, she makes history. This is Women Who Lead, a special International Women's Day feature on Talk City 91.1 FM.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine. Yeah.
Today on Women Who Lead, we spotlight a woman whose career has been defined by service, resilience, and historic achievement. Penelope Beckles-Robinson. Her journey in national leadership began in 1995 when she entered Parliament as an opposition senator. She would go on to serve as Member of Parliament for Rima from 2000 to 2010 and again from 2020. Throughout her distinguished career, she has held several major ministerial portfolios, including Minister of Social Development, Minister of Culture and Tourism, and Minister of Public Utilities and the Environment. She also served as Leader of Opposition Business in the Senate from 2010 to 2013. In 2007, she made parliamentary history when she became the first woman ever elected Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives in Trinidad and Tobago. An attorney at law by profession, called to the bar in 1988, Beckles-Robinson has combined legal expertise with decades of public service. In 2025, she once again broke new ground, becoming Leader of the Opposition and the first female political leader of the People's National Movement. Her story is one of leadership, perseverance, and paving the way for future generations of women in public life.
You've been listening to Women Who Lead, celebrating the women moving our nation forward. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM, your station for conversation, leadership, and community.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine. Yeah.
This is Destra. Right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Oh boy, let me take a call. We must take a call or two within this segment before we enter, before that news. Yes, yes. Oh boy.
Good morning to you, Pitbull, Andy Williams, and the big old man. Here, I want to go back to Madam Breakfast's Andy. Andy, you know that you know that Faris is Faris Rentals, right? And he is the top rental person to the real estate to the government, right? Now, you know Andy, who is second to Faris Rentals? Well, is Madam Breakfast's Rentals. And check the MP for San Fernando East, that is his son, right? And together, you would be surprised if you launch an investigation into Madame Breakfast's rentals, how much buildings she owned and how much building she rent also to the government. And my question is that to the MP for Sano East is where you all got all those dollars to buy those buildings, especially in the one where you live at where the former Saint Lenny Patrick partner who Lenny plenty dollars, right? All up there, all your own real estate. Where you all got all those funds? I am asking a question, not making an accusation. Thank you.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Andy and Mr. Lennox Smith. So I have a major front burner this morning. So yesterday I was up on the social media and I saw Miss Marsha Lauren Walker spreading a serious misinformation, and she had been saying it for a while, that apparently, according to her, the UNC is the one that went into the HSF and withdrew over $410 million, right? And over $1 billion during the Christmas season, and there was no accountability for it, right? And she's basically accusing the government of it and demanding that the government account to the nation. But I want Miss Marsha Lauren Walker to know that she needs to stop spreading misinformation, because I went up on Google search, and on Google search it is very clear that it was the PNM government that borrowed the 410,775 and 703, right, from the HFS, right, during for the fiscal financial year, September, the 30th of September 2025, right? And the reason they gave for withdrawing that money was to offset the 2024-2025 deficit in the budget. So it was the PNM that borrowed it. So if I could do a simple Google search and find that, then she could do that as well. Also, it was the PNM government also that withdrew over $1 billion close to the December period for 2024 into 2025. All these things can be verified by a simple Google search. So Marsha Lauren Walker needs to stop spreading misinformation in the public domain, because it is very disheartening and sad. And just like how she like to sue people, I think just now the government need to sue her for spreading misinformation.
Wow, well searched, boy. Well searched.
Well, we continue to, of course, observe the hot and cold scenarios as far as contributions are made on the program. And I want to say that we are rapidly, of course, reaching the point where the superlative position, the preferred position, is that, of course, you come with verified information and don't do like Busman, where, of course, 90-something% of his contribution is nestled in speculation and maybe wishful thinking, maybe out of design. I don't want to go in the area of inadvertency, but certainly maybe designed to generate mischief as opposed to giving us information that we can work with and benefit us as we move forward.
I agree with you. Sniper, let's go for that 7 a.m. TTT News. Yes, brought to you with the kind courtesy of Talk City 91.1 FM.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Kyrie Roberts, making the news at this time. Congratulations came from Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, Khadija Amin, who praised Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Bissessar for his successful visit to the United States and historic meeting with President Donald Trump.
U.S. marks the first time in more than 3 decades that a Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago has been invited to meet with a sitting President of the United States. It is really a significant milestone in the relationship between our two nations, Trinidad and Tobago and the U.S., and another historic first under the leadership of Kamla Prasad-Bissessar. History has been created, and this meeting signals renewed respect for Trinidad and Tobago on the international stage.
Amin described the engagement as a milestone in bilateral relations, highlighting its potential to unlock many benefits for the country.
The discussions that Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Bissessar would have had with President Trump have the potential to really unlock meaningful opportunities for the country. These strengthened relationships with the U.S. can lead to new avenues for investment, and out of that, increased revenue and job creation that will support economic growth across the nation. And, these opportunities can really bring real benefits to our communities throughout Trinidad and Tobago.
The minister said that the Prime Minister's discussions with President Trump have the potential to unlock meaningful opportunities for the country while bringing real benefits to communities across Trinidad and Tobago.
When we have these international partnerships that are built at the highest level, they really create pathways for development that reach every corner of the country, including, and very importantly, rural communities in Trinidad, as well as in Tobago, that depend on strong infrastructure and local economic activity. So I commend Kamla Prasad-Bissessar for continuing to break barriers and create new opportunities for Trinidad and Tobago, and for positioning this country for long-term prosperity and development.
Criminal attorney Fareed Ali says licensing officers must be treated with the same respect given to police officers. His comments come in the wake of a viral confrontation involving a maxi taxi driver and licensing officers. The attorney says the public often forgets that licensing officers perform a law enforcement function and should be treated accordingly.
They are simply doing what they have to do and executing the law under the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act. We may not like the manner in which the law is being executed. We may think that some officials tend to be high-handed. But the job is a difficult job, and one has to do it.
His statements come just 2 days after this video went viral, showing a confrontation between a maxi taxi driver and licensing officers along the southern main road in Curep. The driver has since been arrested by police, charged with assault. Attorney Ali noted that motorists retain constitutional protections, but only when they remain within the law.
If it is we stay within the parameters of the law, meaning we, being civilians, we as drivers are the nation's rules, then these officers cannot in any way infringe on our right to life, liberty, security of person, and enjoyment of property, meaning
The attorney also said the maxi taxi driver in the viral video should have filed an official complaint through the Maxi Taxi Association. He noted that motorists who believe a licensing officer acted without integrity can also use the proper complaint channels, adding that officers can be investigated and disciplined. He stressed that both motorists and officers have responsibilities and that proper procedure, not public confrontations, ensures accountability. In some sport news now, head coach of the Presentation College San Fernando cricket team, Hollister Pajot, hailed the dedication and sacrifice shown by his players and the school staff. This after Presentation clinched the Powergen Secondary Schools Cricket League Premiership 1 title when they defeated Shiva Boys Hindu College.
Victory. I think I want to pay homage to the guys and them for all the hard work since October we would have started, and kudos to them. They played an excellent tournament, and congrats to them. Also, I want to just touch base as well on the coaching staff. right? David Williams, Luke, also the principal of the school, Miss Khan, Jalim, Jason, all of them. I think it was a holistic effort, a collective effort, and congrats to the guys.
All eyes now turn to the Boys Intercall Championship, with presentation hoping to add this trophy to their cabinet.
We got the result that we needed, and we're just happy about that. You know, we're really thrilled about that, and just right now, it's not over. It's just we have the intercall to finish as well, right? So just we'll celebrate today, fine, but just we look ahead to the intercall as well.
And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. After the short break, return to Trinidad and Tobago Today.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
The Cabinet has approved the increase in the permissible age of importation of foreign-use right-hand drive private cars, that's sports utilities, SUVs, sedans, and station wagons powered by gasoline, dieseline, or compressed natural gas, CNG, from 3 years to under 8 years and under from the date of manufacture.
Music. Culture.
As Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesa has announced recently with our revitalization master plan, we are open for business, and a key area, a key focus of that master plan is, of course, the energy sector and the energy hub. And we will be open for business, not only for Nutrien, but for all other players that wish to discuss their investment portfolio with us.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
This March 8th, in celebration of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly presents Women Who Lead. Imagine a world free of bias and discrimination, a world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive, a world where women's achievements are celebrated and their voices amplified. For over a century, International Women's Day has championed gender equality, and the journey continues. Join us as we highlight powerful, inspiring women who are breaking barriers and shaping our future. Women Who Lead, launching March 8th on Talk City 91.1 FM. Together, we can forge gender equality.
South Trinidad, we're turning up the love on Thursday, March 19th, the night before the holiday. Sweet 100.1 FM brings you Reggae Love Live. And we're taking over the lobby in South Trinidad for one unforgettable night. Enjoy big reggae anthems, sweet lovers rock, and so much more. Pure reggae vibes all night long. This is your midweek escape, your reason to step out and feel irie.
Before you pull that trigger, hate to see when youths become friend killers.
Bring your crew, bring your energy, bring your best vibes, because we're lighting up the launch with music you know and love. Admission is free, so no excuses. Thursday, March 19th at the lobby. This is Reggae Love Live. One love, one launch, 100.
This isn't just radio. This is your voice, your city, your platform. Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked. Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back, we are back, we are back. Time check, it's 9 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock, and you're listening to the Ground Report right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. You are listening to us and viewing us also on our several media social media platforms. That when you leave your maxi taxi, a taxi, a PH vehicle, a 7-seater, when you leave, you can just get us right on your phone there. Simple. At Talk City 91.1 FM on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. Nice, on TikTok. And you can also get us on a Real Media TT on Facebook and on YouTube. You can also get us on Real Media TT on both of them. Real Media TT, Facebook, YouTube. Corridor Transformation on YouTube. 648 Television. That's Irvin the Man on YouTube. You can also get us on The Ground Report. The Ground Report, just put in that on YouTube. And you can get us. Okay? So while we move on there quick, let me just play this clip here quick. They send that is a clip of Marsha. Let me hear what she said.
Hello, Andy. Let me get this straight. With the people of
Nice. I'm going to do the honorable thing on the airplane mood before I play, because I don't supposed to be still playing those clips.
Hello, Andy. Let me get this straight. With the people of TNT, the U.S. military signed a contract with Grafton Beach Resort for the use of the entire premises until the end of March. But here you have individuals like PNM3 and also the opposition in Tobago nosing around, wanting to find out what U.S. servicemen are doing there. Well, I got news for them all. Those servicemen will be there until I say so. So stop busting up your mouths with lies. PNM3 and the opposition forces.
Nice. Trini Trump. Let me go to Marsha now.
Hello again, Andy. I am going to play you a voice note by Marcia, the Mako talker, where she's saying Prime Minister Kamala thief $1 billion US by raiding the Treasury to make sure the next generation set and the grandchildren set now. Listen for yourself, Andy.
$1 billion US unaccounted for. And this Kamala-led government, this Kamala 2.0 thief, 2.0 raid the Treasury, last chance before to make sure the next generation set, to make sure the grandchildren set now. $1 billion US unaccounted for.
I hope Prime Minister Kamala takes her to court for this, because...
All right. I hope she takes you to court. Okay, let me hear some just now.
Good morning, Andy, Lennox, Nigel, Mikey, and to everybody out there. Andy, I want to wish Mikey a happy birthday, belated. His birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday and all God's blessing to enjoy many more. And today, our good friend from Long Circular, never mind he has moved directions, is celebrating his birthday as well. I want to wish him happy birthday and the same all God's blessing to enjoy many, many more, especially good health. Andy, we really have to call on Jesus to take the wheel. To take the wheel with this opposition in this country. The UNC opposition made a lot of sense when they were talking. Because you can see the proof. They showed you the proof of what was there. Right? Now, this opposition, heaven help us. God help us. But I like what Mrs. Prasabi Sessa said, especially in the last paragraph when she addressed them with their SOE meeting. When she said haters, trolls, and doom scrollers and red couch alumni. Look, that was really funny to hear her referring to them like that, right? And now, and she really know why she was talking about doom scrollers, because now is the war in Iran. That raider is going to encourage us to get attacked with the war that's going on in Iran. Oh my God, and they want to run this country again, Andy. It was the war in Venezuela, it was the radar, it was the SOE, it was this, it was that, it was the other. Well, now it's the war in Iran because, the local government elections coming up next year, right? Or next 2 years, can't remember when. Anyway, so they're starting from now, right? They made such fools of themselves at that SOE meeting, and it boiled down to the same thing. It boiled down to the same thing. And that is when Mrs. Pasabi says I had to remind them about what it is they did, and they had to be taken to court. Up to now, everything they're criticizing, have you seen them face the courts as yet? Well, with the CPEP, they faced the court and they lost. Because look who were their lawyers. And so we just have to brace ourselves and call on Jesus to take the wheel. Thanks a lot.
To the ground report. Good morning, Nigel Snipes, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith, the listeners. Now, I just be listening to talk show, and I just be listening a lot. And I want to say something this morning. While the UNC were in opposition, making statements on the platform, promising the goodies and all these sort of different things, this country was allowing the PNM to ask the opposition at the time, where are they going to get the money from? While the government at the day was the PNM with input, and then they is the one who had the coffers in their position. They was in charge of all the resources. What they was telling this population, it have no money. And they was governing the country for the past 9 years, and they telling us it didn't have no money in such a way. That comes like what we saw on television and on the YouTube. We see a police vehicle racing down behind a vehicle, a man hand outside, and two men come out and start to gun them down. And we ain't supposed to say we see that. We ain't supposed to say we see that. They want an investigation into that. They want counseling and all kind of things just for what we see. So in order for this country to move forward, you see all that mismanagement and that squanderment between the PNM reign with Dr. Rowley. They must address it, but at the same time, we have to wait until the president's term is up. So we will have a fair play to get back some money, because we can't afford to work and build back this country without getting back bulk some money from Invert, Faris Alwari, Foster Cummins, all these big players. They can't afford to govern this country and waste and drop a certain money by the wayside like it's games, game money, them now game money where they play with now. You understand? What it is really wrong, I wait and see what will come out in the first 5 years of this government, because the PNM must be held accountable for all that mismanagement and squandermania and how we scraping the ground today, and they still in we face contemplating making decision and finding fault here, there, and everywhere. You all should be locked up for mismanagement and squandermania of the patrimony of Trinidad and Tobago. Locked on.
Oh boy, sorry about that. That message stick up. That message stick up and catch him till to finish him. Let me see if I can get him back up and running.
Ground report again. And I asked the MP from Mova, I want you to know, sir, I don't know if you're still on the country, you're still around representing Mova or not. I don't know. But it don't seem like Mova have no representation. You're trying to tell me that you cannot stand up in the parliament and make a proper argument to get that Mova, lower Mova school to continue? That we're trying to tell the country? The roads in Mova, you ain't saying nothing. You know the activists or the councillor, you all ain't saying a word. What it is wrong with you all? So you know you all have the authority to go to the authorities and make recommendation to get these things continue in your constituency, not because it's a PNM run constituency. Look what it is going on in Port of Spain too. Where these PNM ministers, what they are doing, all they're doing is just trying to see if they could create some kind of bacchanal in the parliament and a kind of bacchanal to incite something. Let me tell you all something. You all will not be able to incite nothing here. There will never be a PNM again in this country. Never, never, never. Never. Something new will pop up and dismantle you all from that 13 crapo seat you all have. What is wrong with all you? Get the school in Mova on the move again. I call on the Minister of Works and Transport. I call on the people who are responsible for these buildings that the last administration left unfinished, especially when you're driving coming into Port of Spain from by Central Market. That building, that big building, I feel all they could close down the Frederick Street prison and make there a new prison for politicians, because they will be arrested for what they did to Trinidad and Tobago, and I don't want this young generation to feel they all could work and pay off the debts this country have. The only how the debts could be paid off here, people have to bring back money into the coffers of Trinidad and Tobago by the assets. You see, you just can't be coming down on the public all the time. You politicians getting away with these things for too long, and that must stop. And if it don't stop by the UNC, the next government will stop it, but it will not be a PNM government. That is the end of PNM.
Wow. And I want Lennox Smith to watch the people for this message here. Yeah. We call eyes on him while I just fix something in the background here. Yes. I want him to watch Bossman with this message here. Yeah, watch him in his eyes.
Good morning, everybody. I want to come back to the issue of the San Fernando PTSC. I want to tell the Minister of Transport, Mr. Eli Zakur, I would be ashamed to say I am the Minister of Transport based on what is happening in that terminal. So the bus drivers have ended their strike and they have all gone back out to work. But yet now, we're still seeing some cancellation in the San Fernando PTSC because they're taking buses that people are supposed to get to go Superior, Faizabad, Princeton and Port of Spain to go UE. I want to let the Minister of Transport know, you see this nonsense that you and your government encouraging and continues to do nothing about it? If people cannot get transport to go to work, they cannot get money to send their children to UE, that is common sense. I don't know why are they taking everything in San Fernando and feel that it's for UE. This nonsense have to stop. Or they're cancelling everything, right? Cancelling this, cancelling that, right? And taking the bus and sending it to UE. We didn't ask all you to do that. It was Patrick Manning who gave us, right, under the PNM, a reliable San Fernando to Port of Spain bus service, the best bus service we ever had. When the UNC came into power in 2010 to 2015, they decided now to dismantle that service and take some of the buses and send them UE. But like nowadays, is everything going UE? UE. There's a UE bus terminal. And I want to let the government know, all they continue to go ahead and brutalize the people. This Minister of Transport, he does nothing. He just studying to give people tickets and prevent them from driving and charge them for a set of defects. So, they can't drive their own car because it's very expensive if they get charged. And now, they're not getting public transportation in South because of the bus service is unreliable and everything going to UE. Continue, man. Continue along this trajectory. And you will see where this government will end up. According to Lennox Smith, it will be relegated to the dustbin of history. And Lennox Smith, do the country a favor and just zip him out. Use the most biased talk show was I ever hear.
Papa, you's a very biased fella. I know you's a very, very biased fella, partner. Very.
The first person I've heard said that so blatantly, and so to use a more almost derogatory, but I mean I think it is appropriate, a most awful statement with respect to myself. But I want to say, however, that the truth offends, and people becomes defensive when they are exposed to the truth, or put another way, when the truth is told about them. So I suspect that is his response to the fact that yesterday he said one thing in his initial statement or contribution, and then he had to come and correct it with some more innuendos and some more disinformation or misinformation, but at the same time adding a little more meat to the bone that he gave us earlier. And of course, I described it as good reverse psychology on my part to call him out, and therefore he had to explain further and with a little more, as I said, specificity as to what he meant. So he had to say what he meant by, and what he meant by, and what he meant by. So I understand his quagmire, if not his dilemma. Right? So he's just lashing out. But that is good. That is good. I want to say, however, that that does not take away people, those persons who have businesses, commercial, small, medium, and beyond, to call us and advertise with us, because as I said, that you don't listen to one side. That is his side of the story. And of course, when we try to provide additional provable facts, the veracity of which cannot be questioned, you have people, of course, lashing out like that. But talk to us, call us, and we will respond appropriately. The
he used
ground
one
report
of your
is one.
twangs. He used one of your twangs, Lennox Smith, and
What's
he
that?
used it
What's
quite
that?
well of the dustbin. What's that twang again that you say the PNM will be what?
Yeah, relegated to the dustbin of political history. Yes, I will often refer that to the PNM, because they have become so obsolete and so irrelevant and so ocious that you have to say that they will be on their own accord delegated to the dustbin of history. We have a call. Let's go to the line.
Before we take those calls, let's take the break.
Let's take the break? All right, okay. All right, so we take the break, and when we come back more, it's getting hot, literally and figuratively in here, when we come back.
Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Jerry Lean Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
So I got right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice. Talk City 91.1. Thought-provoking conversations, bold perspectives, voices you trust. Talk City 91.1. Bigger, bolder, and more powerful than ever before.
Yes, Talk City 91.1 FM.
A brand new era of talk radio is here. With voices you know, trust, and respect. Get ready for an all-new lineup of the very best in talk. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, Stephen Reese, Mr. X, Derek Charbodi, Roland Stewart, Sharon Farfan, Sudath Prasad, Heavy Duty, Alex Asing, Karen Francisco, Cherry-Leen Lewis, Short Pants, and more of the voices shaping the national conversation. From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues, culture, politics, social development, and the stories that matter most to you. This is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk.
It's all good right here on Talk City 91.1, where we're going to give you something new, something hot every day, Monday to Friday.
Listen on 91.1 FM and connect on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Talk City 91.1. Your city, your voice.
Imagine a gender-equal world. A world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where differences are valued and celebrated. This March 8th, in recognition of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly launches Women Who Lead, a powerful feature highlighting dynamic women who are breaking barriers, leading with purpose, and shaping our nation's future. Tune in to Talk City 91.1 FM starting March 8th for Women Who Lead. Because when women rise, we all rise.
Is your business experiencing the following symptoms? Not enough customers, low sales, slow cash flow. It's time for your business to be seen and heard by thousands of potential customers inside this new, exciting television and social media feature.
Welcome.
The 1020 with Junior K. Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just for you. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
You can listen on Talk City 91.1 FM and stay connected on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, wherever you are.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it locked.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back, we are back, we are back. Your time check. Yeah, it's 33 minutes past the hour, 7 o'clock, and you're listening to the Ground Report. So the lines are open for you. Let's Smith, anything else you would like to add before we open back those lines?
Yes, of course. The latest iteration, again, is riddled with contradictions and misleading statements. During the course of my response to which you specifically asked me to so do, I missed the actual area that I would have liked to focus upon with respect, of course, to the Bossman Mako contribution this morning. So maybe if you get a time to play it over, I'll be able to identify it. But, you cannot come on the Ground Report and make statements that cannot be certified or verified. And we have a duty and responsibility as part of the Fourth Estate, the media, to do fact-checking or fact corrections. And I know that people may be offended because they would have been exposed, particularly if the intention, I'm not saying one way or another, but if the intention is one to mislead want to be generate a kind of emotion that is not nestled in factual information. I took note this morning, and we did it already, I think 2 weeks ago and last week, I believe, when we said that electric buses are carded to be deployed in Trinidad, and that tenders have gone out. I think it's about 300. I had said 600, but I checked yesterday, and it appears it's about 300. And in that, they are replacing, of course, the diesel buses, so to speak, and the stations for for these buses, meaning that to charge them, because is electronics, so the batteries have to be charged after being exhausted, and that, I think, is also being put in place. Oh yes, I think I got what he was saying. He said that, of course, Patrick Manning left a perfectly functioning transportation system. But I want to say that was more vicarious in the sense that it piggybacked on several international conferences that our monies were used to sponsor without, of course, the appropriate or the concomitant benefits to Trinidad and Tobago. We had CHOGM here, and we had, of course, the Summit of the Americas here. But when we look at the expenditure versus the benefits, clearly Trinidad and Tobago has not benefited. However, one of the beneficiaries of that exercise was that the purchase of those buses specifically for that, which then, of course, were transferred to the Public Transport Corporation, and they have, of course, I believe, have reached the end of their life, or whether they were appropriate or not is a different story. But the fact is that over time they would have been utilized, and therefore, as everything else, would come to the end of their useful life. And there's a need, of course, to augment and to put new things in place. And of course, in this case, the government has agreed. I think it would have been an initiative of the last administration. So I want to deny any biases, because we did say that, I think last week, Andy, when we said, listen, we agreed that there are certain things that the last administration did that this administration now has to follow up on. I think that this electric bus scenario is another one of them. But how it is to be done, and whether it's cost versus value initiative that must be also assessed, the government of today may well be looking at that, and maybe looking at another source as opposed to the original source, etc., etc. But government is a continuum, and we have to accept that. And there are other instances where new government can take a different path all entirely. For example, Amy Brown has the audacity to say that when the Prime Minister, and I understand that she came back into the country last night around 7 o'clock, she should hold a press conference at the Piaco VIP lounge. Well, that was the style of, as I said earlier, of Dr. Rowley. This administration has a different way of providing information to the public, and you have to accept that as a fact. A new government is in place. It is not cast in stone what the PNM did, as he claims, in terms of the non-aligned movement, and that you take a neutral stance and you respect people's sovereignty, etc. And Kamala Persad-Bissessar must follow, or this administration must follow that path, because Eric William did it, and up to Rowley did it, etc. No, that is nonsense. Different strokes for different folks, and circumstance and situations may demand a different approach, and this government is on the right path.
Andy, Lennox, and you.
Go ahead, caller. Morning. Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you.
Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox. Morning, Snipes.
Good morning.
I just have some
Yes.
quick points here that I wanted to raise up. The thing where the issue of the fingerprint, right? I think the fingerprint is a good thing to have for the police to have on the system, whether you are a criminal or not. Because people doesn't find it hard when they have to go for your passport or the flying out or the flying in that they have to put in the fingerprint when they have to get your visa and thing until they have to use your fingerprint. So I don't see the problem with the police having a database with every fingerprint. Will it make it easier? If I'm not a criminal, and same thing as a ticket, if I ain't doing nothing wrong, why should I worry about the ticket? If I have my fingerprint in the database, why should I worry about it? I ain't doing nothing wrong. So I think if the criminals who had a worry about the fingerprint being there, I find nobody else should worry about if the fingerprint being there. Right?
I agree. And we could also add on, because we must put in corrections why it is the gentleman where we want his fingerprint out. Because when you're going for a certificate of character, it will show up that you have a criminal record. So what we will do is enhance what you are saying, which is everybody fingerprints there, but they bring technology to the extent whereby when the person name come up, it will show that that they don't have a criminal record. But I agree with you.
So you have a two-tier system then. You have, of course, one for civilian, general, non-criminal, and then you have one for criminal, so that you can search both database, because somebody might have been lost, for example, and some print, because you want to find out whether or not they left the country, in this case maybe, and they leave a print somewhere. You can search the civilian database in order to find out. These days, of course, that technology is pretty simple. That was one of the pet areas that I would have done in my own criminology.
Anything else, caller?
Program, yeah.
Yeah. One more thing. The thing with the HSF fund, right? I think what the lady was trying to say, what Marsha Walker was saying was really truth, right? Because I went and looked at the fund online, the Ministry of Finance as well. And they did do a withdrawal of 410 million, which equates to 2.788 $2,788,000,000 TT dollars, right? Even though the fund went up to 6 point something. Remember, this is a fund. It have investments. And if our investments make money, it is going back to the fund. So even though they withdrew money, the fund would go up because it making money. It ain't losing money, it making money. I don't think the government put anything into the fund, but because there's a fund and they have investments and investors making money, the fund will go up. But I don't see the problem with the government if we are under pressure taking out money from the fund.
No,
but they have to account
but
for where they use the fund.
But you see where they use the fund? Because again, what the caller problem was.
No. They didn't say where they use the funds for, or they said the funds was withdrew from the HSF from the 410
what date?
million US. That was sometime last year. It was laid in Parliament. No, it was laid in Parliament. I think Tuesday. It was laid in Parliament. All the information was laid in Parliament.
Let's get it clear. Let's get it clear here. The reference is being made to the last budget, which was, of course, the just before the review, which would have been a budget that was initiated by the PNM. You see,
right?
I think that is where the discrepancy is, and of course nobody is clear as to whether or not it was withdrawn by the last administration or this administration for the purposes of in this case,
shortfall.
It was done under, I think, in the last quarter, between June.
Okay, right.
And,
so it would have been for the
September.
For the review.
It's online. It's on the Ministry of Finance. Yeah. It was withdrawn then.
Well, then
in the last quarter.
Well, then we could fairly say that
it was done under the UNC government.
Right, it was done under the UNC government to subsidize the budget of the PNM.
The budget of the previous administration. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and there's another issue as well. The money is never borrowed from the HCF. It is
that's take out. I don't borrow. Yeah, withdrawn. Yes.
Yeah, because borrowing suggests that you have to pay back, but that is not the case with the HCF. Yes.
Yeah, so okay. I don't see the problem. They're taking it out to use it for the country, but They didn't. The whole thing came up because it went to court. It was going to court. The thing is when Eversley and Stuart Young sent a pre-action protocol to the Ministry of Finance. So that's why they wasn't bringing it to Parliament. So that's how they ended up bringing. Because they wanted to know what the truth happened. So that's how the whole thing came up.
All of that was for Rick Lutzman. Rick Lutzman is saying all of that was based on the 2024 to 2025 budget, meaning they was just sustaining the P&M budget while they was there waiting to handle their own budget.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
All right, man.
And Eversley and Stuart Young raised the issue because it appears that there was a time frame within which to present it in the Parliament, and I think within the parameters of the threat, I think that the information was presented just one day before they decide to go actually to court for judicial review in the court. So I think that is what triggered this discussion. But whether people will use it for their political agenda is a different story. And I think that's where Marsha came in. Yeah. Oh wait.
The next guy, I forget his name. And everybody, good morning. Andy, morning. Andy, that man who you call the boss man, that's Mr. Porter Speed. And he's going to get more disrespectful way. Time he start taking camera, get rid of him. Keep listening to him, going to get more and more disrespectful. First, the boss does HTC and he got on Philip. Keep listening. He'll show his true colors just now. Anyway, more, you'll have a blessed day. I love all the show. I don't listen to Bossman. You'll start with Bossman. I switch my station. I don't want to hear him because I know he's Mr. Porter Spain. Keep listening to him. I'm saying, like, you don't waste your time on that stupid guy. He needs Christ in his life. Anyway, you all have a blessed day. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Morning, Andy. Morning. This is Kenrick. How you doing, man? Morning. Hey, listen. I hear about fingerprint business. I have to say something. The fingerprint is this. My fingerprint is in the data of the United States. If I do anything, and they take my fingerprint, it comes up. Anything. Okay? Anything. So I don't see what's the big problem. I thought they had that fingerprint in Trinidad going on. I didn't know that they didn't have that. Wait, back way what? Only backward? They're supposed to have fingerprint. Anybody, as they get their ID card, they're supposed to have a fingerprint. I put it in the data. In the main data. So anything comes up, that fingerprint comes up. How about that? All right.
You ever thought about this? Good morning, Brown Reports. You know, all the time this program was going on, and you didn't hear say about a bus ban. And as soon as the results came out, I think the next day or something, so we had this person on the show by the name of Busman who started complaining about PTSD. I find that very strange. Have a good day.
Andy boy, good morning to the Magnificent Tree. I just want to put a little input into your calypso, no boy. I listened to your calypso with marijuana, right? As I tell Mr. Lennox already. What your calypso missing is that your mother tell you that she don't want you marijuana. She say you could marry Lorna, you could marry Sheila, you could marry Rona, but she don't like you to marry Warner because she face a nice, and according to the name, she feel Warner had to be some transgender. So she want you to marry a real woman, not a woman who is half man and half woman. So that's why she telling you. She don't like you to marry Warner. She want you to marry Lorna, or marry Sheila, or marry Rona. and left out Warner. Right? She don't like marijuana, for you to marry Warner at all. Because that is a transgender. I want you to find a room to put that in your calypso. And I feel you will have a real bossa calypso. Your mommy don't want you to marry Warner. Marry Sheila, marry Rona, or marry anybody else, but not to marry Warner. Thank you, Andy. But you could smoke you could smoke Warner. I mean not Warner, you could smoke ganja. You could plant ganja. But she wants you to marry Warner. You hear? Thank you.
All right. You sound like you marry Warner this morning. Highway songing good away. But I don't know, like you marry Warner. Hey, like over that break.
You got inspiration, boy.
Yeah, boy, something they might hide. You know the man seen it.
Give me the right concept for competition.
Yeah, you give me the right. You give me the right concept. Oh my God.
Yeah. Innuendo. Yeah.
But like I believe he married the Warner in order to organize and come up with that concept. Yeah. Oh, hey, Snipes, let me go for that break and come back there quick. Oh boy.
You sure he's married? But let's go for the break.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most. On air and online. More ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Inspired by actual events.
Everybody has a fear of something, right? Well, so do I.
This is Janine. Despite resolving an incident in the past, Janine developed the fear of late electricity bill payments.
Current gonophobia is no joke. Sometimes I would even black out. It was horrible. I felt so afraid and powerless.
Thankfully, Janine took charge of her life when she was encouraged to sign up for TNTech's free online e-bill service.
E-billing is such a brilliant idea. Signing up was a breeze, thanks to that knowledgeable CSR. And now I have the power to pay my bill on time, fearlessly. Thanks, TNTech.
Visit ttec.co.tt to sign up for e-billing today. TNTech, the power to make it work.
She leads, she inspires, she makes history. This is Women Who Lead, a special International Women's Day feature on Talk City 91.1 FM.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine. Yeah.
Today on Women Who Lead, we spotlight Drupati Ramgunai. She didn't just sing, she sparked a cultural revolution. Drupati Ramgunai is widely recognized as the queen of chutney soca, a pioneering artist who transformed traditional chutney music by blending it with soca rhythms, creating a sound that would energize generations and redefine Caribbean music. In 1988, her hit song Roll Up the Tassa broke barriers, introducing chutney soca to mainstream audiences and igniting debate, celebration, and cultural pride across Trinidad and Tobago. At a time when the genre was largely male-dominated, Drupati stood boldly at the forefront, unapologetic, innovative, and powerful. Her music challenged norms and expanded the national soundscape, giving Indo-Caribbean culture greater visibility within Carnival and beyond. Through decades of performance, recording, and cultural advocacy, she has become not just an entertainer, but a symbol of artistic courage and cultural fusion. Drupati Ramgunai's legacy is one of resilience, rhythm, and representation, proving that leadership can come through melody, movement, and fearless expression.
You've been listening to Women Who Lead, celebrating the women moving our nation forward. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM, your station for conversation, leadership, and community.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine. Yeah.
History in the rhythm. Issues in the spotlight. Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
to the Margaret Christian Street. Andy, I hear talking about a calypso where you're singing about marijuana, right? But you're missing out some little parts in it, as I tell Mr.
No, I
Lennox
don't play that.
already.
I don't play that.
What I would like you to...
Don't play that. Next one, quick. I just want to finish off these things there before people start to quarrel. I have a lot of voice notes there. Oh boy. Let's finish off these voice notes and them there quick.
Good morning again to you and to everybody. You hear the bias? Manning had the best service. For 10 years, Rohan Sinanan sat down there. And you in here, busman, criticize Rohan Sinanan up till now. But you hear him talking about Zakur. Zakur and them inherited a rotten bus service. Because this not going on now. This not going on now. This didn't start on the 29th of April 2025. This started years ago. And anybody traveling on the buses, including myself, would tell you what it is used to be going on. How long we had to wait for an Arima bus. Sandy Grande bus don't pick you up to drop you in the Kwesi, right? The San Fernando buses and all these buses are coming irregular. Right? It's years they hear people talking about when they're waiting in Chaguanas for San Fernando buses, they're not getting it. And you coming now like a mocking pretender. You see the advice that you give Lennox? You should practice it. Practice what you preach. The bus service has been deplorable ever since we know about it. You talking about in Manning days. That was 2021. Sorry, 2001. Look at how long. And you come in and you never heard a word about Rowley's government and Rohan Sinanan. Not even under this man, Fitzgerald Hines, when he was first the Minister of Works and Transport. Not a word in English. But now you're talking, you're a linguist. You're a linguist. In all languages you're talking it. You keep threatening this government, busman, and you keep threatening Mr. Zakur. Remember, we are under SOE. We are under SOE. And when you see they take steps against you, you're going to want to cry foul. Okay? But I told you already, you have no credibility. None whatsoever. All of a sudden, you down Eliza. What is the man taking mother white foul? It had to be something so. Oh, come on, man. Try a little honesty and people might accept the nonsense, really, that you're talking. Busman, you have no credibility. You coming to talk of Manning bus service, not a word about Rowley and Rohan Sinanan bus service, but you're coming to be down on Eliza Crew. It is as though he took away all the buses and he have it so. He not running the bus. You remember the administrators that running it. You see what I told you this morning, Andy, about Jesus taking the wheel? Heaven help us. Thanks a lot.
Morning, everybody. So I haven't been able to hear the show much this week, and I definitely haven't commented. So I just want to put in one now regarding something you all touched on. So the politicians in Tobago, the opposition, are clearly fear-mongering and riding the wave of fear around global events, what happened in Iran, to score political points. You're going to get a lot of that. And you're going to get a lot of fear-mongering from people in the rum shop and from people on places like Twitter. People who have allowed themselves to become useful idiots, meaning they are absorbing lies and then dispersing it, spreading it. And the shining example we had was Busman and the closet communists regarding what happened in Iran. Because they hate the US and they like Iran, they're going to spread propaganda. They won't talk about the 30 to 50,000 people that Iran killed in January. But they'll talk about a school being hit, but they won't say the school was on a military base, deliberately as a human shield, right? That's what they're going to get. And you're going to have to look into things more. Everything you hear, every little piece, break it up and dig into it. Otherwise, you can fall for a lot of lies, basically. I mean, this week I heard the busman talk about I'm glad that he's going back to buses. I think he should fully be back on his bus thing. I support that 1,000%. But he said something. He said, well, the reason why the buses ain't working now is because it's Chinese buses and China cut us off from parts. No. You just need to talk to Clive Nunes. And Clive Nunes identified that the problem with the PTSC is they stopped buying German and Brazilian buses and they started buying Chinese buses, which are not good. And the way the Chinese actually operate is they don't make spare parts. Every single part that they make, they put into building a new vehicle because their intention is to flood the market, right, and capture the market. So they don't want to deal in spare parts. They will sell you as many cheap buses as possible, and it's you to catch after, right? So there's things like that. You need to look into, and make sense of it. And the world is a very treacherous place right now. If you just get your news on Twitter, you're going to be misled because there are going to be people who are being used as useful idiots, as weapons of war, literally, to destroy the Western world from within with propaganda.
Thank you very much, Snipes. Snipe us to that news. 8 o'clock news here with you. TTT. Oh boy.
The society also our pundit, Ramdat Mahis, he was involved in starting the construction. Also, we'd like to thank the Chief Secretary, Fali Chavez Augustin, for sending URP workers to assist.
Mr. Govindra says the society has long received an outpouring of love and support from the people of Tobago, and that encouragement continues to strengthen their efforts to grow and preserve the Hindu faith on the island.
As I said before, my auntie, the president of the Tobago Hindu Society, Purwati Holas Bipat, she's involved in the interfaith religious bodies in Tobago, so it have all the various Christians, our Hindu society, even the Muslims. So when we host programs, all these various spiritual leaders and religious leaders, they come together and support one of each other. When there are Eid programs in the mosque, we also go there and the various Christian events. So in Tobago, there's a lot of love and unity, and the THA is very supportive also.
The society says its mission in Tobago's cosmopolitan community is to promote Hindu cultural expression through music, dance, and festivals. Development, Dr. Kennedy Swaratsing, who made the remarks while addressing the TNT Chamber of Industry and Commerce's Catalyst Conference on Wednesday. During his address, the minister said SMEs can help move the carnival creative sector to the next level of economic viability.
By bringing together creative entrepreneurs, investors, policymakers, and industry leaders, initiatives such as this create the foundation for a more organized and sustainable carnival economy. With the right investment, infrastructure, and policy support, Carnival can evolve from a seasonal event into a continuous economic platform that strengthens our global cultural brand and support creative SMEs throughout the year.
He noted that these SMEs will benefit from government's digital transformation initiative.
Technology will also play a critical role in supporting this transformation. Digital platforms now allow businesses to reach international markets, distribute content globally, and engage customers in ways that were previously impossible. Data analytics, e-commerce platforms, digital platforms, and online streaming have become essential tools for modern enterprises.
Dr. Swaratsing said the digital transformation of small businesses will also have an economic benefit for the entire country. In some sport news now, interim head coach of the Trinidad and Tobago national football team, Derek King, says he is focused on continuing the progress made under former head coach Dwight York. King made the comment when asked about the displeasure expressed on social media by members of the TNT public following York's departure. TNT is set to depart for Bolivia today, where they face the South American team in an international friendly on March 15th.
You know, social media, this is life.
right? Some may like the decision, some may not like the decision, right? But we here to do our job. We want to do it to the best of our ability. As I said, we want to build on what Coach Dwight did with the team for the past few months. And I think, we are good players. We have good quality players. We have players that we still looking at who showing interest with parents who born in Trinidad with the grandparent rule. And we'll be working behind the scenes to get the best possible team to represent Trinidad and Tobago.
And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From the entire team here, have a great day.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
The Cabinet has approved the increase in the permissible age of importation of foreign-use right-hand drive private cars, that's sports utilities, SUVs, sedans, and station wagons, powered by gasoline, dieseline, or compressed natural gas, CNG, from 3 years to under 8 years, and under from the date of manufacture.
Music. Culture.
As Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has announced recently with our revitalization master plan, we are open for business. And a key area, a key focus of that master plan is, of course, the energy sector and the energy hub. And we will be open for business, not only for Nutrien, but for all other players that wish to discuss their investment portfolio with us.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
Dreaming of a place to call your own? The Land for the Landless program could be your first step towards that future. Applying is simple. Visit www.lsatt.com or the Land Settlement Agency's official social media pages. Carefully read the application guidelines, then complete and submit your form. Remember, all applications must be submitted online and no applications will be facilitated at LSA offices. Need assistance? Free in-person application support is available at 5 application hubs, including the Arima, Lisa's Gardens, My Tower, and Tarodale ICT Access Centers, as well as the BPTT Mayaro Resource Center. You can also access computer services at any ICT Access Center across Trinidad. For additional information, email lflp.lsa@gmail.com or call 299-0795 extension 3482, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Opportunity today, a home tomorrow. You have until March 24th.
This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
This March 8th, in celebration of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly presents Women Who Lead. Imagine a world free of bias and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where women's achievements are celebrated and their voices amplified. For over a century, International Women's Day has championed gender equality, and the journey continues. Join us as we highlight powerful, inspiring women who are breaking barriers and shaping our future. Women Who Lead, launching March 8th on Talk City 91.1 FM. Together, we can forge gender equality.
This isn't just radio. This is your voice, your city, your platform. Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back. Time check. It's 8 minutes past the hour. After 8 years, 8 minutes past 8. And you're listening to the Ground Report right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. And you are viewing us. Yes, you're viewing us too and listening to us on our several social media platforms. Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube, Corridor Transformation on YouTube, 648 Television on YouTube, The Ground Report on YouTube. Also get us at Talk City 91.1 FM on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitter. Okay, go ahead, caller. Officer, go ahead, officer. Morning.
Yeah, morning. I want to clear up something with the ruling of the court with the fingerprint stuff.
Yeah.
Now, when you are charged for an offense, your fingerprint is taken and you're on a database with either a matter pending in court or a conviction or whatever, right? However, when you apply for a certificate of character, your fingerprint is also stored in a database and it could be used to help solve crime, which have been done in the past. So by you didn't get charged before, you went to apply for a certificate of character, and then they compare your fingerprint to some print they find on some crime scene. You could end up getting charged, and that has happened in the past, right? However, when I now remember in 1990, after the coup, right, most of the fingerprint data they had was destroyed because of that. And they come back and they started to build up the database based on the people applying for certificate of character. They store these fingerprints. So it is being used to solve crime, right? But in the court ruling, when you get charged before the court and you apply for a certificate of character and you go for it, it'll show up on the data that you have a matter before the court or you have a conviction if the case is finished. But many times the police and them don't update the data which you're supposed to do. And you could be waiting to get a certificate of character and that data is there and they keep telling you, well, we can't give it because we still checking to see if you have any conviction and them thing. So I used to advise people when they come to me with them problem to go to the court and pay for the court filing on it, the extract, and take it to them, which making you spend more money now. One, you have to go to the court twice to get it because you have to apply and then go back and next day to collect it. So it's more money you have to spend. So what the court ruling actually did is saying that the police is responsible for destroying the records when the case is determined. That don't mean to say that your data not in the system, It means then you should not be showing up that you have a matter pending in court, or it should be showing that the matter was dismissed. You understand? So you wouldn't have the onus to go and prove anything. So that is what this is about. But your fingerprint, now if you never went for a certificate of character, your prints would not be in the data, right? Your print is only in the data when you go for a certificate of character or you're charged. You understand? Okay. So it's how people could live in Trinidad and die in Trinidad and it was never in the system. They're never in the data.
But it's very hard to break the data, especially if it is you have to get most things now, you have to get a certificate of character for a job.
Exactly.
For a visa,
that is why, okay, look like in America here. I will be in the data because I was naturalized. I had also to go through the biometric and thing where they take my fingerprints and that kind of thing. But it have people who living in America here. They would never be in the system because they never had anything to do with biometric and thing. You understand? Mm-hmm. So yes, I am in the system. Like if they only had to punch in my name right now, and they can know everything about me. My name, my age, where I'm from, everything. Just by punching in my name alone. Much less to take any fingerprint or anything. They can take my ID card, as they snap it, they can get everything about me. And that is what the data system is about. That is where the new system is about.
So we have that technology here. That is how it is. It's just the police need to keep upgrading the system. As in, if somebody's not charged, upgrading it, they will not charge, they win the case and them things.
Yeah, they just have to remove the charges from the system and give them a clean bill of thing that they didn't have no charge pending and they never had a conviction.
Okay.
That's what it is about. And now but the police supposed to do that right here because that is part of the police work. But they have not been doing it for years. Although they say that they upgrade the system and they computerize it and all kind of, but they're not doing it. And this court ruling now make it law. So it is law. And if the police don't do it now, they disobey any law. You understand what happened now?
Yep.
Right. So the police could be held accountable for breaking the law to now. If they will ever do that.
Okay, so the police should be held accountable for not updating the system because they're breaking the law.
They're breaking the law because it's a court ruling now.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So it is a court ruling and it is law now that they have to remove these matters when it is completed and it should not be showing up in the system no more.
Right, but does the police have an arm within the administration of police to keep updated with cases and who lost, who win?
Let me put it this way. Every police station have what they call a clerk. All police stations have their record books on them, right? When they charge somebody, these things have to be updated. As the case get postponement, they have to keep updating it. That the charge book, that the case book. No, it's the computerized system it's supposed to go on to, right? But what happening is that, like, what is happening in the past? The police working in the station, they update their own record when they go to court. They get the record updated in the station. Now, when the police officers then visit, they should pull their books to check to make sure all these records are up to mark. You shouldn't have a postponement out, like your case was this week, last week. You shouldn't go in the station this week and see it have a postponement for last week. It's supposed to be upgraded to the next date. It's gone too. Right? But police have not been doing that. That is the problem that they're having. And because they're not doing it, you can't get proper record from the records in the police service. So this will force them to update the record.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So it is forcing them to do the work, basically.
Oh, so in real, what the magistrate or the judge really said there is here where it is. Why all the officers clean the people record. All they know the case drop, do all their work, clean it. Don't be only have them coming for extract on we side there, thing. No, they do all the work. That's what it's saying.
No, but and he put yourself in the position of a person who had a matter that is dismissed. Going for a certificate character to get a job. Now you don't know it, they take months to get that, right? And here it is now, every time you go back, they tell you, well, they're still tracing it because they see that a matter pending showing up. And you know the matter dismissed. And you don't know that you could get exactly. Yeah. And you had to take the onus on you now to go and get a court extract to prove to them that the matter was dismissed.
Wow,
that should be. Yeah, that should not be on you. That should be the police service supposed to have that up at the fingertip.
That should.
Just think about it. How many people is going to court, and you hear the prosecutor telling the magistrate that they object to bail because the person have not been traced. Why the onus is on the person to have their thing traced? The police supposed to trace. The magistrate should not accept that. Once you charge somebody, you're supposed to trace them on time.
Understand.
You understand? You should, a man shouldn't be going to court and then the police using that excuse. Well, we object to bail because you have not been traced. That is not fair to the person. You understand? And then he had to be going to jail when he should have been getting bail and being outside.
That is true. So a man is innocent until proven guilty.
Exactly. So I am glad that something is finally being done, and people must understand. I'm glad too that they put in the laws of the land online so people could read it and understand the law. I know plenty of people wouldn't be able to understand it, but at least they could ask people for advice on it. And the system needed to correct itself now. So I'm glad that the judge did that, and I hope people understand what I explained to them.
All right, thank you very much. Very good
welcome.
explanation. Very, very good. Hey, let me say a pleasant good morning to Makano. Good morning to you, Makano. Oh boy, go ahead, caller. To be mobile. Oh boy, next caller. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Good morning, Andy and Lennox. Lennox, what happened to the night program, boy?
You tired?
No.
We'll be there. You'll get 2 for 1 soon.
Right. Good morning, Andy, Lennox, director, everybody listening to the program. I want to put my foot in Al-Rari's shoes there, and I'm going down a wrong road there. And I want to find out why he wants to know and he's questioning the list. All I want to know if that list has anything to do with the Interpol watch list. Because if we have, and the Prime Minister has always said that, particularly when Maduro was taken to America, she said, all you watch out, all you're going to see, senior government official in CARICOM might have questions to answer, and respectable people. So is Mr. Big on that list? Is the pedophiles and them on that list? Are all the people who money launder it? Because the JJ, they are coming for you. No, the frightening thing, I hope the whole of Trinidad listen to Sturge interview with Vashi Tiwari. That was a telling. You imagine we have Fitzy had a 360 radar system. It had blind spots. It had blind spots in Sandman area. It had blind spots in Calibil area. And he mentioned that he used to see a lot of boats there parked out outside, filled with Venezuelan, allegedly might have been trafficking in women and things like that. That is what we had, blind spot. We had a government possibly facilitated, and that is what the Honorable KPB is saying, a narco-trafficking sort of organization in Trinidad was facilitated by a political party. Those are the things we should now be prosecuting. And the lollipop man, the candy man, he wants full disclosure. When KCR clapped back at him and said there is a ledge of a number of MPs who possibly have questions to answer with respect to the female gender in the office, did he make an attempt to kind of clarify us and tell us what KCR was talking about? So no full disclosures. They must come with clean hands. Go on, have a nice morning.
Thank you very much. Next caller, pleasant good morning to you. Caller, where you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
Good morning, Brother Andy. Good morning, Lennox Smith. And good morning, Mr. Sniper.
Go ahead, Malcolm X.
Andy, you know I staying on the ground with the purpose of the ground report. I was proud to be part of all your march and all your support. Now, I speaking about something I see on the news last night with the breakfast shed. Now, they say they give the people by a month to move out. I only hope the breakfast shed didn't go through the same thing as what Manu and them went through at the Mecca and what the people went through on the mall. Up to now, they're still going through on the mall on Queen and Henry Street. That anyway, that have black people in prime land or prime place, they're looking to get rid of them. Now we're watching idly by with P&M. And I keep telling all you that P&M never helped the black people, and I will always say to the black people is the problem to themselves, which is the Afro-African Negro Trinidadian. We is the own problem because we not racial, and we watching race in the face, because when the 1% get on TV and say they are the minority, I hear that on national TV, them, as well, we win the election. They say there is the 1% and there is the minority, but they have real power. And they show we where the rich get richer to help and in help the poor. Right? Now, I'm watching that where people mobilizing and mumbling and bawling, now is we time because UNC in power, and I'm telling you, my Indian brothers saying that. And they're showing it in a way that they want you to hear what they're saying. We have no time because everybody in Trinidad, Lennox, I want you to hear this, because you're a man, you study, you're bright, and you're reading plenty. Under all governments, the Indian, the Chinese, the 1%, the French Creole, now the Spanish, now is the them Arab and them with the Jaro, everybody benefiting. And you're seeing we still in a way, you see that breakfast shed, it was moved from Dock Road to build the Hyatt. I know all of my time coming, but I have to talk what I am seeing as a citizen of the country. They moved the breakfast shed and they forced them off at Dock Road and they give them that little piece of place under whatever condition. Now I hear they have a deadline to move, right? Eric Williams say he give the Drag Brothers a piece by Bessel Street and move them from the promenade. They give what they call the nigger mall. That's what they used to call it, with the Negro people. On Queen, Henry Street, and Frederick Street. 3 times that place or twice that place burned down. Up to now, nothing can go there for black people. So what I am watching at the Pan place in Macoya there, Rowley and them looking what's the gateway. All you, I am feeling that not everybody eyes closed to see what's going on. It's time. It must be shared equally. Just as how Caroni Limited been represented under all government to get where they're getting, I figure it's time.
Well, I ain't too okura with the whole breakfast shed issue, but I think breakfast shed is under Udicott, which is under Jolene John. So you and Jolene John real good. I think you and Jolene John real good. Yeah.
Listen, under Jolene John, far as I hear last night on the TV, some lawyer and some next man who representing them had some press conference yesterday, and they say they want to meet Ms. John too. And I know Jolene John, the Queen of Sheba, is an across the board woman. Where the right is right, and I will say that. But they say they write to the board, they write to this one, and they're not getting no response. Hear what I am saying on the ground report as a member of the ground. The people there, don't move them, and all you have other people plan to go there, like all you do Manu and them down with the Mecca, because they give Manu real pressure with the Mecca. Have Joe Young about, Nunez and them was it. That was for culture show. And they take it, they gave him pressure, he couldn't get a road, he couldn't get nothing, they gave him real pressure with our land. Till he had to end up turning it over to some kind of half Chinese or whoever it is gay. Now it have movie tongue, it have with price mat, it have all kind of thing they know. And Abu Bakr stand up for them land. They move Starlip up on our next land. So if all the prime place black people mustn't enjoy in this country and they bring we here as slaves, all your enough is enough for now. Right, I gone.
Bang, 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 bang.
Oh boy, well, the boss in charge of that is a black woman, Jolene John. So let's see how that aspect goes.
We have a call. Yes, Jolene John, and I think some part of it is EGC. But let's go to the line. Good morning, welcome.
Hi, good morning, gentlemen.
Yes.
Malcolm X, respect to you. You always make a good contribution. But you know all what you're talking there about. Let us be real. Black people is the worst enemy. You understand? PNM had them down for years. PNM never uplifts the black man. You understand? Everything that had black in front of it, PNM keep down and destroy. You understand? And what did the people do? They never stood up for their rights. when you see people are being taken advantage of or oppressed, you have to come out in the streets and have massive demonstrations and fight for your rights, right? Did any black people in this country ever fight for their rights when PLM was oppressing them? No. They love PLM more than they love themselves. You understand? Let me keep it real. Let me keep it real. You understand? PLM, the people are responsible for what PLM did them. And as for the breakfast shed, you running a business. How you expect to run a business? And you don't pay light bill. You don't pay your rent. You just walk in a building there for free. It don't work so. People have to take responsibility and stop blaming other people for their wrongdoing. You understand? So all that you see happening to the so-called black people in business, who is to be blamed? Who is to be blamed? Well, you look in the mirror. Blessings.
Have another call?
Take the next call.
Yeah, let's take the next call. Let's take this call. The arguments are very, very potent. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Just lower the gadget in the background.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Good morning to the Magnificent Tree.
Good morning.
Mr. Lennox, I hear you're talking about this breakfast shed and thing. But you see, we Negro people, we have a real problem, boy. I don't know why, because as a young boy, 22 years old, I was working down shag pulling material for one Winston Samuels thing hardware, a wholesale place. And when we used to go in there, it had a lady named Miss Patty, a red-skinned Negro lady, used to be selling cow heel soup. Those days you're getting a nice bowl of soup for $5, Mr. Smith. Right? And this lady used to make real money. And we used to go also on the wharf in Port of Spain, because in shag we used to pull lumber. And in Port of Spain we used to pull like amarites and louvers frame and all them kind of things, right? So Negro people was always in this business long time selling food. So I don't know how now they come in and they can't pay rent or that kind of thing. It's how you handle your business, right? And if you can't handle your business, that is the end result. So I wouldn't blame anybody for that, right? People have to know how the expenditure and the revenue is. But some people just like to hang their hat where their hand can reach. And when the business busts now, you don't want to blame other people and talk about black people this and black people that. But I believe we as black people have some problem, boy. I don't know how we just end up so. This is what I have to say this morning, gentlemen. Thank you.
Well, I a black man, I don't like how I'm feeling, I'm feeling like as a black man, I useless. Let me take this call here quick, too, boy. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning.
Miss Woodbrook, I appreciate what you're saying. But if you listen to Malcolm X's speech from since this Gong report I talking, I always saying we is we own problem. Because if Andy really want to remember, because Lennox don't remember nothing I saying, but if Andy want to remember what I saying, in Lavantil, it had 3 African shops. And African people always had a problem with this one with our sofa, that one is cost too much, that one, and those support. And we support the Chinese, they support the Indian, they support everybody. So I always saying, we is we own problem. So I know now come. I realize we problem, we racial to we own self. You hear what I'm telling all you? This is Malcolm X speech. So who want to criticize? I don't criticize people's speech, But what I'm saying, you must listen good to my contribution when I'm making it. Black people, African in Trinidad, not in Grenada and Tobago and them place. In Trinidad, yeah. We is the own problem. I know that.
All right, but let me ask something. Let me ask something on behalf of everybody now. right? Because
Go ahead.
the issue is the breakfast shed, and they have a time limit to leave. You did mention places like the drag malls that burn down and all those various things, and black people and having a problem in having prime property and all those various things. The breakfast shed is a prime property and they have to move. Reason given that they have to move is because they are not paying their rent. They ain't paid their rent for years. They ain't paying light bill, nothing, years and all those various things. Go ahead.
Andy, last night I hear one of the ministers saying that the people say that they overpay some light bill and all. In everything, I just telling you what I listen to, right, on the news. What I am saying is the management at the place supposed to be responsible for the rent, the lights, and for where the people ain't paying for years. Just as the management for CPEP, and you know, Andy, Lennox from Trinidad and Tobago know, corruption in European start yesterday or 10 years. It's years, government go, government come, Europe have corruption. But it's the head and the snake. This is what I keep telling all you. Simple by agency and all. You send home people, but the head and the snake, where the chairman and them could show you how much mismanagement, how much money in that mismanaged and bad spend, simply national call you all about. And all who suffer is the layman underneath. The head of the snake still flourishing with a billion. That is what Malcolm X about. That's why I say it's time to lock up and jail and hang people. I gone.
Okay, go ahead, Lennox Smith. I look like they want to go for a quick break.
No. He took the wind out of my sails, so to speak.
Definitely.
Because I was going to say that there is a regulatory. Those persons who are supposed to regulate, manage, they too must be held culpable. And there is something as well in civil law called estoppel, where if you have an obligation, but the people who are supposed to enforce that obligation, you began, of course, to be delinquent, and you began to, and in this case, of course, not paying, and they accept it over time, it becomes the norm. And if that was nipped in the bud, then, of course, the situation that these businesses found themselves in, these business owners found themselves, would not have been. They would have either been outside, they have been outside, or they would have had a viable business running all now. So,
so which means...
So he's quite right. The regulators, those who are supposed to supervise, etc., must be held accountable as well. What I would say, however...
But do they have rights? Do they have rights?
Well, yeah, because of the concept of estoppel, you have allowed it to happen, and therefore what you can do is negotiate or generate some kind of write-off, for example, and start afresh, but making sure that they understand that you will hold them accountable. You will put the mechanism in place to make sure that they pay their responsibilities in order to move forward. That is what has to happen.
All right. Well, in other words, Trinidad and Tobago, because to make it even more clear for each and every one of you to understand the rights that they will have at the breakfast shed. And you know, Trinidad and Tobago, we have a squatting problem in Trinidad and Tobago, whether it's state land or private land. And if a private owner have land and they're not making their business, and somebody happen to go on that land, spend at least 18 years, and that owner ain't come and say nothing, that owner not aware of his private land, somebody living on it so long, the person now have rights of possession of that land in having occupied that land after a certain amount of period, which will go down in the same thing. Same do state land. State supposed to make sure if somebody knock up a 2x4, that it have people there to get them the notice, come off state land immediately. Then the state mind their own business as of what Unicot was supposed to be doing for the breakfast shed, minding their own business, making sure that these breakfast shed business people pay their money, they automatically have rights. Just like a squatter who on state land for over 20 years, the land is automatically their own so long as they can prove it. The state just can't throw them out. And if the state have to get them out due to public purposes, the state will have to compensate them, pay them, relocate them, but money have to be spent. It is what it is.
Wonderful, wonderful exemplification of the issue that is being addressed here. Of course, in the case of private land, 16 years, and state land, 18 years, you have what is called adverse possession. So you can apply to the court and get a vesting order in order to get the land in your name. Of course, in the case of the vendors, you have a situation where the state refuse to enforce their right to collect the rent, and maybe TNTech give them, of course, a blind for many years.
Yeah.
And now you want, after the horse has bolted and out of the stable, you're looking, of course, to try to grab at straws. No, you have to be humane. You have to be considerate. And one of the ways that could be remedied is simply write off the whole process, start all over again, and make certain that you implement your part of the process by you doing your role as the owner or the landowner, or as the person who is responsible for the infrastructure and providing accommodation for these people at that very, very valuable spot.
So their lawyers, their attorneys will have a very, very, very strong case in the state just throwing these people out, you know.
Yeah, public opinion as well will be in favor of our good friend as well, who has taken up the case, as mentioned earlier. Yeah, Malcolm X.
Yeah. Well, boy, well, right on the ground, but as we always say, whether or not, either or, we will always stand up or do the right thing. Don't matter what, whether we support the UNC or not. Hey, look, Lennox Smith with the ground report, just Brilla. I think they call it a primary facie case or something. It's called it.
Prima facie, yes.
No, say wait, is that man?
Prima facie. Yeah.
A prima facie case?
Yeah, prima facie. Prima facie, yes. Prima facie, yes.
Prima facie.
What kind of English on the face of it, it looks good.
Oh, on the face of it look good. But what's that mean that bullshit thing? All the thing we think they. So all the talk we talk they. We ain't be like and they can still throw them out then. Because on the face of it.
On the face of it, we have a case. But let's go for the break.
I would like to build a prima facie case.
Let's hear.
Yeah, he's built up a case to go for the break.
Thus, it would reflect that I'm not doing my job. So I would just like to build my case.
Everybody come legalistic, boy. But let's go for the break, and when we come back more on this edition of the Ground Report.
Imagine a gender-equal world. A world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that's diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where differences are valued and celebrated. This March 8th, in recognition of International Women's Day, Talk City 91.1 FM proudly launches Women Who Lead, a powerful feature highlighting dynamic women who are breaking barriers, leading with purpose, and shaping our nation's future. Tune in to Talk City 91.1 FM starting March 8th for Women Who Lead, because when women rise, we all rise.
More news, more access, more ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter on air and online. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Is your business experiencing the following symptoms?
Not enough customers, low sales, slow cash flow. It's time for your business to be seen and heard by thousands of potential customers inside this new, exciting television and social media feature.
Welcome.
The 1020 with Junior K. Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just for you. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. The conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
She leads, she inspires, she makes history. This is Women Who Lead, a special International Women's Day feature on Talk City 91.1 FM.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine. Yeah.
Today on Women Who Lead, we spotlight Wendy Fitzwilliam. While the world remembers her as Miss Universe 1998, Wendy Fitzwilliam's true legacy extends far beyond the crown. An attorney at law by profession, Fitzwilliam pursued her legal training after earning her law degree and legal education certificate, building a foundation grounded in discipline, advocacy, and strategic thinking. Her legal background has shaped her approach to leadership, analytical, articulate, and solutions-driven. In the corporate arena, she has established herself as a respected businesswoman and executive. Fitzwilliam has led regional branding initiatives, developed empowerment platforms for women, and served in executive roles that bridge business, media, and leadership development. She has also been involved in corporate consultancy and governance-focused initiatives across the Caribbean. As a public speaker and entrepreneur, she has leveraged her global platform to champion education, women's leadership, and youth development, transforming visibility into influence and influence into opportunity. Her journey reflects more than pageantry. It reflects professional achievement, strategic growth, and sustained leadership in law and business. Wendy Fitzwilliam, proof that beauty may open doors, but intellect, education, and enterprise build lasting legacies.
You've been listening to Women Who Lead, celebrating the women moving our nation forward. Brought to you by Talk City 91.1 FM, your station for conversation, leadership, and community.
I don't wanna stop your shine, 'cause I love it when you shine. Yeah.
This is Talk City 91.1. 91.1.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, we are back. Malcolm X, so you have a business renting and you don't know you have to pay your bills, you contracting yourself? Or you're contradicting yourself? Why Lennox Smith is making excuses for delinquency? Oh boy, so earlier, at the end of the day, That is a very, very serious thing.
Remember that delinquency of which that presenter spoke or wrote. It goes two ways. There's delinquency on the lack of collection over a long period, whether it be TNTech or the owners of the facility, and on the other hand, the obligation of the renters themselves. So let us get it clear. So,
all right, so
delinquency is not one-sided here.
All right, so
delinquency is on both sides.
So everybody, including the government, well, right. So we're trying to say
That's
right. So we're trying to say there to Lennox Smith is that so here it is, all wrong, and the right thing now is to write off everything and let everybody start afresh.
And start again. Yes. That's the most equitable thing to do.
All right. Okay, go ahead, caller.
Morning, gentlemen. Barack here. Gentlemen, let me tell you something. We could go and look for issues and try to make excuses and blame government and blame, not paying rent and all kind of, and make it always into a black people issue and a racial issue and thing, because that is how the culture of our mind to think in this country. Every time you see something affect somebody, look for some racial kind of overtone to capture it and divert from the real issue of what is in hand. Now, when you had to look at this thing from the genesis of where it started and where we are today. Look where we are today. A country that had so much wealth was in a nice place where we had every single thing done given to us. We didn't have to diversify and look for agriculture. We didn't have to look for technology or nothing. We had all that. They gave us all that. And we didn't know how to manage it and where we are today. From the time we became independent and we was governed by this government, and you look at the prison, you look at the homeless situation, you look at the people who live in HGC houses, you look at the people who were having children and not taking care of them, and it started small and it continued to grow and grow and grow. We had our Prime Minister come and make a public statement. He understand and he see that how the African people or the black people in Trinidad and Tobago not doing well. And now we reach a point now where things are so out of control that we're looking to blame everything else but ourselves in acknowledging a culture that has grown into something now that has been look embarrassing. And we're trying to look for excuse to blame everything. But these people and the grandparents of the people who made the children and didn't install culture and behavior and responsibility in them. These people come and make these children that we're dealing with now, who is looking at each other and killing you in broad daylight, shooting each other, following up, invading people's homes and all this kind of thing like that. And we're looking for excuse to blame everything else. What now you would say about the other set of ethnicity in the country that move on and elevated themselves and have become respectable, responsible, and life going in a different direction for them? Where is the Kafra Kambon and all these people who just portray themselves as savior for African people when they see all these things happening from ancient days now to now? They didn't have no opportunity to intervene and say, hey, here what, things are looking good. We ain't looking good. We need to try to culture ourselves differently.
Let me ask one thing, because I kind of get offended with one thing there, because you qualify, and that's how I take it. Maybe somebody else might take it different. You qualify, well, the less fortunate in our various brackets, and then you qualify others who send the children to school, get education, move out from that bucket and all those various things in a higher level, right? What about if I qualify now to that those real highly educated people that move out from those brackets there, they ain't doing the home invasion, the this, the that, wherever it go, But most of the white-collar crime and corruption is them doing it. They get so bright that them doing worse. Well, to me, it's the same thing. A man kill somebody is the same thing to a man that thief and we are $100 million and get away with it. So how would I qualify that those people that went to school to are doing heinous crimes to the country, but not the home invasions and the killing and the
blue collar versus white collar.
Yeah. What about that? Let me hear where's he take on that.
Let me tell you something. In every society, crime plays a big role in it. Every society, no matter how perfect a country is and how perfect it is run, crime is an industry. Crime is a government on its own. So the opportunity would always be there. But if you, as a person who in charge and govern a country and cannot distribute and let that country grow in a way that you limit the opportunities of people being so distantly apart. Like to say it have extremely rich people and extremely poor people. And then you culture in that extremely poor population to say it's okay to be that way. We will support you. We will continue letting you be down that way. Like the CPAP issue here. We didn't suppose to have this gap of people driving BMWs and all kind of thing and living, and then people could term them as blue collar, white collar criminals and all kind of thing. And then you have a big population of poor people living below the poverty line that when they jump and invade people's home and we calling them and label them as criminals, and then we say that the upper echelon, they are white-collar criminals. Is that divide that governance creates that would say, hey, here, it's okay to be a white-collar criminal, but it's not okay to be a poor man committing a crime and all these kind of things. So unless you cannot bridge that gap and say you need to create a middle class and make that, you see that term with our money make about the rich have to get richer for that is come like you encouraging white-collar crime. And it is okay because it comes from the government. It comes from the hierarchy. So when the poor man seeing that, or you telling me that I have to remain poor for I to survive, it comes like we accept white-collar crime in the country. And then we want to say that a man that invade somebody home or a man who thief something to survive and think he is so bad in society. And that's what people have to wake up and understand. When you see you allow people to lead you and to guide you, and they're guiding you in the wrong direction, but making you feel that them is your savior. We didn't suppose have so much people dependent on living under the poverty line in Trinidad and Tobago. Why they are billionaires? You just hear the kind of money these people will be talking about, like if it's pocket change when you see them mentioning a million spend in this and a billion spend there. And then you have people have to survive on a $60 income to mind 5 children and all this kind of thing in this country. And that's what people have to wake up. Look at who is guiding you. Look at who is the people who you're looking up for support from. And then ask yourself, would they like to live how you were living? Would you support somebody who for years they are on controlling you, controlling your lifestyle and guiding you, but they would never one day want to step in your shoe and come to the reality of where you are as a citizen in Trinidad and Tobago, and then you go back and you support them because they're telling you here how they could fire 30,000 CPAP people. We didn't suppose to have 300 CPAP people working in this country. Everybody's supposed to be getting up in the morning saying, hey, kiss the children goodbye, pack a lunch and say, I'm going to work. I'm going to this job in this company or this place and earn an income and come back and plan a vacation for when the year done and to be able to celebrate things and live that type of lifestyle in Trinidad and Tobago. People have to understand where it started from.
It's 2 minutes still.
Yeah. They have to understand where it started from and dismiss these people and start to try to make us start now from we want to move forward. Are we going to continue killing our brothers and sisters like that on the street and blame white-collar criminals? No, we can't do that. Have a good morning, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. I saw all of that Trinidad and Tobago because we have to look to rack up. It's just to say that we can't look at one and then look at the other. Because in my book, both is real bad. Real bad. And the majority of the worst things that are happening is the qualified doctors and lawyers that are politicians and qualified accountants. Them is the people that are destroying the country. Understand? Including the shake-offs that just get itself in nonsense. So we must always qualify all two.
Yeah. And you are quite right. And in the case of the breakfast shed, the customers or the operators felt that there was no need to pay rent or pay light bill for a substantive or extensive period, because those who were responsible for the collection thereof or for the implementation and the enforcement simply conceded and give that impression to the business persons over many years.
So let me close up, but to secure it, all they have to do is organize and give the people amnesty and start all over and done that shoppiness at the end of the day. Because they put them out and then if they put them out and they put other people there, it's really not going to come across nice. The worst setup is not black people. Trinidad and Tobago, after God family comes first. Be safe on the nation roads. On behalf of the Ground Report team, yours truly, the Pitbull of Radio, saying, we are out of here.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
This is about creating opportunity through responsible management and citizen participation in national wealth. We are targeting US $3 billion in new investment within the next few years in energy, in construction, in tourism, and the digital economy.